had the perfect family, or so it seemed. She was married to the perfect man, or so she thought.
Never again will you hurt me.
Lindsay Wagner, Shattered Dreams, Sunday.
They murdered his parents. Now they want his son.
Punish him for what you have done.
And he must find him before they do.
Wait!
He's a different kind of hero.
Yeah?
Coming June 24th, Raven.
This is CBS.
Blockbuster Video has all the hot summer hits, more hot new releases, and more copies of them. Free Jack, starring Emilio Estevez, Kid and Play in House Party 2, The Butcher's Wife with Demi Moore, Sean Connery in Highlander 2, Kevin Costner in JFK, Father of the Bride with Steve Martin, Macaulay Culkin in My Girl. Get a 2-liter Pepsi and Blockbuster popcorn for only 99 cents with any 3 rentals. Blockbuster Video's hot summer hits. Take them home and watch them tonight.
These are Tom's friends. Tom's not with them today. He's not in the locker room or at work. He's not in his apartment. Tom is a cocaine addict. And today is the day he finally chose for his new beginning.
For a free confidential consultation, call New Beginnings at 800-365-1919.
Hi. You know why Quaker State asked me to be their spokesman? Because I'm tough. Quaker State is tough. Tough on wear and tough on sludge. If you use Quaker State in your new car's engine, they'll guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. Quaker State is one tough motor oil. So naturally they asked me because I'm tough. You don't think it's because they think I'm oily.
You are watching WBAL Television Baltimore from your 24-hour news station. This is WBAL TV 11 News at 11.
Hundreds of people come together tonight to solve problems in their communities. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rod Daniels. Hundreds of people came together tonight armed with ideas to solve the problems in their communities and turn around their neighborhoods. Our Vicki Mabry has the details on that story for us.
On December 30th last year, a robbery suspect was shot and killed at a payphone at Bell and Wabash Avenues. It was the last straw for neighborhood residents. They wanted to remove some of the 16 payphones in their community, phones they say were being used for drug transactions. Tonight, at the city's Community Empowerment Conference, Terry Kerbeam told others how her neighborhood fought and won.
We got 10 of the 16 payphones removed. What I learned and my community learned from this experience is that we have the right to go out and get things done in our community. We live there. We are the people who have to come and look at the blight or criminal activities every day, and we're not going to stand for it.
The mayor called for this empowerment conference to get city residents talking about solutions to their community's problems: crime, drugs, unemployment, lack of social and business opportunities.
If we broaden our definition of what we have available to us, I think we can come up with some creative ways of taking care of problems.
In my community and a lot of other communities, we haven't had any money anyway. So what we've been working with is creative ideas, and we're hoping out of this we can get some creative ideas without money.
Even teenagers say they got something from the conference.
My family was to have a crisis. I got numbers, like, so I can call, and get help. And like if I know somebody, interested in a job or something, got numbers like that.
The ideas that were discussed tonight won't end here. The mayor has promised to compile a neighborhood resource guide and get it into the hands of community leaders so that good solutions can be shared. At Poly Western High School, Vicki Mabry, WBAL TV 11 News.
Now, the mayor hopes that the conference would help community groups come up with cleanup projects, tutoring summer programs, and crime watch committees, and also give other ideas back to the residents. By the way, Mayor Schmoke will be in Santa Fe, New Mexico tomorrow. He's going to help the Democratic Party write its platform for the 1992 presidential election. Schmoke is the only mayor who will be attending the conference. He says he wants to be sure urban issues are on the agenda. Well, violence and chaos disrupted one of President Bush's scheduled speeches in Panama today. After several explosions near an anti-American demonstration, police fired warning shots and tear gas into the crowd. Some of the smoke reached the podium where the president was sitting. Secret Service agents hustled him away by placing a bulletproof coat over his shoulders and then drawing weapons. The president seemed pale, and First Lady Barbara Bush experienced some watery eyes from the tear gas. They were safely transported to a nearby American Air Force base where the president delivered his speech. The demonstrators were protesting the 1989 U.S. invasion of Panama that ousted Manuel Noriega. Meanwhile, here in Baltimore, problems of a different kind for Democratic presidential candidate Bill Clinton. After asking a national group of minority publishers to attend their convention, Clinton didn't show. The National Newspaper Publishers Association says Clinton backed out after learning that Lenore Fulani would be on the same platform. Fulani is the presidential candidate of the New Alliance Party. Some of the black publishers say Clinton is doing black voters a disservice.
It just shows that he's ignoring 30 million people. And if that's not important to him, well, so be it.
I think this is now a new question of his own credibility, his integrity, and his commitment.
Clinton's campaign released two statements saying that he had a scheduled conflict and would not be able to attend that convention. Meanwhile, back here in Baltimore, the empowerment conference that we talked about at the top of our show is designed to meet the needs of people living in some of the city's troubled neighborhoods. But what does that mean to people who live in those areas? Tonight, our Dennis Edwards asked that question in a community known for its drug trafficking, and just a few days ago, the site of a shooting that police say was drug-related.
There's nothing that an honest citizen can do, you know, without jeopardizing their life or whatever. The only thing they can do is watch over their back and protect themselves.
The kind of hopelessness Larry Sproles feels is the kind of hopelessness the Mayor's Empowerment Conference wants to address. It's a common feeling on Jefferson near North Port Street, but there's also a common hope expressed in need.
They need to repair these playgrounds around here. A lot of them just raggedy, you know, kids that get cut up. Need to put money into recreation and get the kids off the streets because they get bad habits, pick up things, you know, because we are their image, they look up to us.
Probably put a little donation up for the kids somewhere to open up a recreation center or something, you know.
Most of the folks who live in this neighborhood believe the mayor has a pretty good idea, but they don't think it'll work very well in reality. They don't believe they can do very much about their situation without some help. The problem here is drugs and drug dealers.
And then after all, they see the police coming. They see the car coming about 2 blocks away, they holler, 5-0, and they gone.
They gone.
And no sooner the police go past them, they're right back out there, just like bees to honey.
Teenagers like Rodney Johns don't like people saying they're living without hope.
I can make it. It ain't no problem. I can still go in the house and study and do homework and stuff. I had to walk through these streets every day. People ask me to sell drugs, but I don't.
That's the kind of spirit the Empowerment Conference hopes to build on. But it won't happen here, neighbors say, without some kind of help from the broader community. Dennis Edwards, WBAL TV 11 News.
And in fact, Dennis tells us that the mayor hopes the conference will help community groups come up with cleanup projects, tutoring and summer job programs, crime watch committees, and other ideas to give power back to the residents. Meanwhile, undeclared independent presidential candidate is taking advantage of every personal appearance schedule. Today, Ross Perot appeared on the Today Show for a special call-in. He stayed an hour later on the program than originally scheduled. He took the opportunity to throw stones at President Bush. By the way, a new poll today shows that 36% of voters say they would vote for Perot. 32% say they favor President Bush, and 24% favor Bill Clinton. Perot still has not announced when he will officially declare his candidacy. In another poll, some Marylanders are expressing their increasing dissatisfaction with Governor Schaefer. A Mason-Dixon poll released today shows 25% of 815 voters find the governor's performance excellent or good. 74% rated him fair or poor. The governor's approval rating reportedly began slipping after he endorsed a plan to raise taxes in the 1991 session of the General Assembly. Well, tonight, police are looking for a suspect in the shooting death of a 33-year-old Edgemere man. Joseph Tucker, according to police, was shot this morning in the 1200 block of Asquith Street. Police think the shooting was drug-related. 3 teenagers have been sentenced for a shooting rampage that wounded this 4-year-old boy, Quante Johnson. Quante was sitting at his dining room table when he was shot on the head. Miraculously, he is recovered. 17-year-old Alfonso Jones was sentenced to 10 years in prison for that shooting. 19-year-old Antoine Vines and his 17-year-old brother Richard got 7 years each. All 3 will be eligible for parole in 5 years. Well, another move to try to eliminate what's left of the block is now underway. The Planning Commission introduced a proposal that would prevent adult entertainment within 1,000 feet of a school, church, home, or each other. Tonight, the commission voted to hold off on that decision for up to a month while they work with the neighborhoods on that issue. A planning commission has closed another chapter on the ongoing fight to get rid of billboards in the city. At a City Hall news conference, a proposal was unveiled that would ban all cigarette and alcohol billboards. The proposed law would also impose a yearly licensing fee and a higher tax on billboards. Not outdoor advertisements, but television commercials are concerned for some school administrators. TV 11 News has learned that the city plans to subscribe to a controversial television service called Channel 1. The program contains 12 minutes of news and then 2 minutes of commercials, which are shown to students during class time. Some administrators oppose the program, saying the commercials overshadow the real purpose of the program, which is to teach the students about news. The program is already broadcast in 75 schools here in Maryland. Right now, we're going to check in with Tom Tasselmeyer, who has our wake-up forecast.
Yeah, and you might want to get up early because it may be the last in our string of really nice days. Things start to get a little unsettled for the weekend, but Friday looks great. Partly cloudy, 60 to 65 at 7 a.m. with light winds. The rest of the day kind of nice. Saturday and Sunday a little touchy. We'll give you the details in a minute.
All right, Tom. Thank you very much. In the meantime, get the howling voice ready. It's a full moon in the sports office.
I'm Jerry Sandusky. Some people will do anything to get in the highlight zone. This man gained 80 pounds and dove for a foul ball. I promise we'll include him tonight in Sports Final.
There was a deadly shooting spree at a Phoenix office building. Coming up next, the balanced budget amendment comes up for a vote in the House. We'll have the vote on that after this.
I've secretly replaced the ice cream on my apple pie with Kemp's frozen yogurt. Let's see if I can tell the difference.
Oh, me? Hey, honey, let's look for Kemp's in our grocer's freezer today.
Now that I've discovered how good Kemp's frozen yogurt is, I've found the perfect way to eat it. Can I have my cone, please? No, the big one. Never mind, I'll find it myself.
Every month, credit card companies take their cut. Finance charges in January, February, March, April, plus annual membership fees. There is a way to cut back. Switch your balance to the AT&T Universal MasterCard, and we'll give you a low variable APR and no membership fee ever. Call while there's still something left to save.
All WBAL TV 11 newscasts are closed captioned for the deaf and hard of hearing. And our special TDD number is always available at 243-5918.
3 great ways to spend the day with Light 102. Turn on the light at home. Great company anytime, no matter what you're doing. And Light 102 is perfect at work.
Everyone agrees on the light at work.
And your workday goes by just a little bit faster.
Light 102 should have a button on your car radio, too. One for news, one for the kids, and one for light, relaxing music. 3 great ways to spend the day with Baltimore's Light. Light 102.
Whatever it takes.
This week, all electronics and appliances are on sale at Electric Avenue, including all Frigidaire appliances, all Frigidaire ranges, dishwashers, washers, dryers, and refrigerators. Like this 18-cubic-foot refrigerator with glass shelves, only $5.79. And get a price break on this washer and dryer, save $195 on the pair. Plus, take an extra $10 to $100 on these electronics and appliances, even on sale prices this week at Electric Avenue.
The following portion of TV 11 News is sponsored by Subaru. Subaru is truly what to drive. The news continues from Baltimore's only 24-hour news service.
This budget gimmick, like all of the others, is deeply and fundamentally flawed.
The House killed a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution tonight. The vote, 280 to 153. 9 votes short of the 2/3 needed to send the measure to the Senate. Supporters of the plan say it was the best hope of controlling the federal deficit, but opponents say it would have meant deep cuts in social programs. President Bush favored the plan, while Ross Perot and Bill Clinton opposed it. A deadly shooting rampage in Arizona tops our news digest tonight. Authorities in Phoenix say a gunman wearing a bulletproof vest opened fire in a city office building, killing a woman and injuring 2 others. A police spokesman said the gunman asked for information on a city worker and then began shooting when he didn't get what he wanted. The gunman died in a fierce gun battle with police. Secretary of State James Baker is headed for London tonight for more talks on a new missile reduction agreement with Russia. Baker is reportedly scheduled to meet with Russia's foreign minister tomorrow afternoon. The purpose of the talks is to try to reach an arms agreement before next week's summit meeting between President Bush and Russian President Boris Yeltsin. Thousands of people protested outside the U.S. consulate in Rio de Janeiro in preparation for President Bush's visit. The president is on his way to the Earth Summit at this very hour. He is scheduled to make a speech before the Earth Summit Assembly tomorrow. Sources close to the president say he may announce a new scientific initiative. But back here in Baltimore, Tom Tasselmeyer has all the technology he needs to give us an incredibly good forecast, at least for a short time.
For a short time, that's right. Okay, we'll deal with that.
Got you off the hook
I was make sure I can accept your proposal there, and we can. Tomorrow looks good. If you can stretch your weekend out to 3 days, get it started early. Can't make too much of a guarantee for Saturday or Sunday, but tomorrow looks nice. Today, a little bit warmer, 81 to 88. The temperature spread in the afternoon. Normal high is about 82 now. The morning was cool. Suburbs in the 50s, downtown in the 60s, and it'll be about that way again tomorrow morning. Outside right now, if you look to the south or travel to the south and then look up, there's a lot of cloud cover, but from Baltimore north, skies have been clearing. Temperatures range from 66 to 74. Light and variable winds, the barometer at 30.09, and it's holding steady. And from the satellite vantage point, we can see that, in fact, we are on the edge of some rather ugly weather. Clouds increase across Virginia. They thicken in the Carolinas, and the rain starts to come down. Charlotte, North Carolina today had over 1 1/3 inches of rain, and it's still kind of showery around that area, so they've got flood watches up for a good part of western North Carolina where the rain has been concentrated. The front that came through here early in the week and brought an end to our hot, steamy weather, it's now down across the southern parts of South Carolina and into Georgia, and it's been the focus for this rain shower activity. High pressure dominating our weather scene, blocking all that weather to our south. Eventually, the high moves off the coast, and it'll allow that moisture and the showers to move back north. But tomorrow, we get to enjoy one last day of this high-pressure area producing some real nice weather. It's late Saturday into Sunday that the moisture down here and the showers start to move back to the north. If you're traveling about the country tomorrow, you'll find pretty nice weather from the coast to coast. Boston, sunny and 83. A couple of thunderstorms, but that's what you get in June in Miami. They'll be at 90. St. Louis, partly cloudy and 83 degrees. And out in Seattle on the west coast, cool. Showers and just 66 degrees. Our forecast for Baltimore tonight calls for partly cloudy skies south of the city, clearing skies elsewhere. Low temperatures, big spread again, 50s in the suburbs, 60s in town. Tomorrow, a mostly sunny, warm day, 82 to 87. There'll be those high, thin clouds across, but enough sun should get through. And then the forecast starts to get a little, well, iffy. Saturday, a partly cloudy day. Saturday night, the rain may set in. We probably get most of that day in all right, but Sunday looks kind of showery, maybe even a thunderstorm, and a little more humid with temperatures ranging from 84 to 86 over the weekend. A touch cooler Monday and Tuesday, but the rain will probably linger, at least in the scattered variety, even into Tuesday of next week.
All right, Tom, we'll check you out.
Okay.
Thank you very much. The Orioles battle the Detroit Tigers tonight. Jerry Sandusky has highlights and the highlight zone next in Sports Final.
If you're thinking of buying a new car, you've probably got a few questions, right? Like, what can I buy for a great price? Why should I buy this car? Where can I buy this car? When can I buy this car?
Hurry into your Subaru dealer. The Subaru Summer Sales Extravaganza ends soon.
If I owned a radio station in Baltimore, it would be really different. I'd ban the obnoxious chatter. There'd be no boring songs, no moldy oldies. Variety, yeah, that's what I'd play. You know, the big hits. Plus, my favorites from the past few years. Variety 104.3 sounds good. Listen, Baltimore, it's you.
Live news from coast to coast. You'll see it first and live from our News Star Network. Only on WBAL TV 11 News. Live.
And now the news from the 18th century. In colonial Williamsburg today, the wheelwrights made a new wheel in time for rush hour. Patriotic sounds echoed through the town. And visitors reveled until the late hours at Chuning's Tavern. Come to Colonial Williamsburg. For your free vacation planner, call 1-800-HISTORY.
Cool.
Game Boy for Father's Day. Have you had your fun today?
The news continues with your 24-hour news team.
Jerry Sandusky has sports final, and we want to check and see if the Birds are flying high tonight.
Birds are gaining momentum. They're just not gaining any ground on Toronto.
Okay.
It looked like the Birds had a pretty easy night on their hands, and then it looked like they had a nightmare on their hands. But at the last look at the scoreboard, they get away with the win and the scare as the Orioles knock off the Tigers 7-5 tonight. Orioles unloaded 4-run first. Joe Orsulak. Hello, Joe. Haven't seen this all year. His first homer of the season, a 3-run shot. So Orsulak got things in gear early on. Rob Deere launched a satellite tonight off of Ben McDonald. This one off the roof at Tiger Stadium. They say it would have gone 480 feet had it ever landed, and you had a tape measure handy. 480, that's incredible. Tigers pulled close in the 7th, 6-4. Chopped the 3rd. Leo Gomez in time to nail Phil Clark at the plate, and the Birds nail down the win 7-5. But the Orioles stay in second. 4 in a row for Toronto. Jays tattooed the Rocket Man. Joe Carter, one of 3 home runs by the Blue Jays off of Roger Clemens tonight. Jack Morris got the win for Toronto. Sit down, Alice Burks, as the Blue Jays win it 4-zip over Boston. Sneak preview of the Summer Olympics tonight down at the arena. Big night of pageantry and competition as the Olympic trials resumed. Tonight, the women's compulsory round, one of 2 steps in selecting the 7 members of the artistic gymnastics team. Now, NBC will not allow us to show you the actual competition, so we in turn will not allow NBC to televise any more of our station's softball games. But here is how the women paired after tonight. Remember, they compete again on Saturday, but in first place, a bit of a surprise, Shannon Miller in front of the current world champion, Kim Zmeskal, and in 5th place from Silver Spring, Dominique Dawes. Remember, 7 girls make the Olympic team. The final round of competition, and the judging has been questionable. Competition ends Saturday.
Well, sometimes I don't feel like the scores were right, but there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm not getting all worked up about it.
No sense in doing that because, again, if as long as you're in the top 7, you're going to Barcelona. Barcelona doesn't have the only summer games. Baltimore has a few good ones, too, and you just never know when we'll show up at yours. Among the signs of summer, the sound of basketball on concrete. Lyndhurst, one of the city's prime summer leagues, open its schedule tonight. A rumor that NBA star Muggsy Bogues might play, lured out a pretty decent-sized crowd. No Muggsy tonight, but plenty of future stars. Our discovery of the evening, Maurice Blanding, high school senior from Walbrook with the slam. So when Maurice makes it big like Muggsy, just remember you saw him right here first on Summer Games. All right, on Thursday night, fun is, of course, mandatory. So without further ado, Maestro, the video, please.
In case you're wondering why the gymnasts chose Baltimore to host the Olympic trials, it's the only place they could watch the Highlight Zone.
And the law is now official. Seatbelts are mandatory while viewing the Highlight Zone. No, the base path is not considered the path of least resistance. Peter Korda showing an innovative way to handle those pesky ground strokes. Unfortunately, in Boston, the problem continues to be those pesky ground hogs. Hey, some pretty good catches on the field as well this week. Devo, Mr. Wallball. Brett Butler, the human grass stain. And presto, Carney Lansford turns the line drive into a pop-up. No easy trick. Ollie North, the cup says Coke, but the beverage remains a secret. Headgear is mandatory in the majors, style, however, optional. Communications problems in soccer. The coach said, give me a good kick. You can always tell the low-budget racing teams they pump their own gas and put out their own fires. Pepperdine pitching ace. This kid loves to brag about his breaking ball. Suddenly, I can understand why. And no, not all close shots are easy shots, but then again, not all easy shots are pretty shots.
Think fast. Boxing's up next.
I can hear him now. Oh, baby, I'm in the Highlight Zone. Oh, baby.
Don't tell him, because he'll probably say just that.
You're probably right.
But you already said it.
So he won't have to.
Okay.
He can just rewrite the tape.
Thank you, Jerry. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of tomorrow's stories tonight. But first, here are the winning numbers in the lottery.
Where does the time go? I mean, just a minute ago, he was a kid.
This is a good
And now he's married and has a kid of his own. Grandpa, took me a while to get used to that. But I like it.
This coming week, AT&T out-of-state calls are just at 11 cents a minute from 5 to 11 p.m.
Son, listen. Enjoy your kids while you can.
This is a good time to talk.
Because they sure grow up fast.
Now here's something the man of the family can appreciate. The Sonata V6. It's so well built and worry-free. It comes with free service and maintenance in addition to the regular warranty. But all you pay for is gas. So a guy can just take off, let the V6 rip, be free, and be back in 52 minutes. The 92 Sonata from Hyundai. Yes, Hyundai.
See your Hyundai dealer now for a $1,500 rebate on Sonata. Heck, bring the whole family.
For up-to-the-minute Baltimore weather, call 832-1200 and enter code 2400. A service of Donnelly Talking Yellow Pages and the TV 11 Forecast Center.
The years, you've never let me down.
You've turned my life around. The sweetest days I found with you. Through the years, I've never...
From dishwashers to refrigerators, a KitchenAid will last through the years.
And I'm so glad I stayed right here with you through the years.
You know, Arsenio's kicked it with some pretty big names. But Thursday, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because he's rolling out the red carpet for Miss Elizabeth Taylor.
You're kidding.
Really? Yeah. It's the one and only Elizabeth Taylor in a rare TV interview that's sure to get everybody talking. Plus, boxing champ Evander Holyfield and the classic rock of Santana. It's Elizabeth Taylor, Evander Holyfield, and Santana on Arsenio. Where else?
Join me tonight at 11:30 on TV 11.
The news continues with your 24-hour news team on WBAL TV 11.
It's time to take a look at some of tomorrow's news tonight. The first ever Baltimore County Police Department and African American Community Youth Retreat Weekend will be held tomorrow evening and continue through Saturday morning. The retreat at Woodlawn High School is designed to build a positive relationship between the officers and young African Americans. The largest Special Olympics sporting event of 1992 is coming to Maryland tomorrow night with opening ceremonies at Towson State University. More than 1,000 athletes will be competing in 79 different events. And finally tonight, the Earth Summit in Brazil apparently has a kissing bandit on the loose. A court in Rio de Janeiro ruled that a man known as Brazil's serial kisser must be allowed to move freely around during the summit. But so far, Jose Alves de Moura hasn't said which world leader he'd like to greet with a swag. You ask, well, how serious is this kisser, Jose? Well, he's kissed Frank Sinatra's cheek and Pope John Paul II's feet.
That's the second in a row the Pope has made the final.
We'll try to get some video for you, Jerry.
Yeah,
in the meantime, that's our news. Have a good night tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bob Bell Ford, Ritchie Highway, Glen Burnie, member Maryland's largest volume fleet dealer group, has the hottest prices in town on the 92 Mark III conversion vans this Saturday only. During Bob Bell Ford's inventory reduction, fully equipped 92 Mark III conversion vans, Saturday only, $18,995. With huge factory rebates and dealer discounts, $18,995. Bring the kids to see the clowns and get free hot dogs and Pepsi. Bob Bell Ford, exit 3B, Ritchie Highway, Glen Burnie.
Here with the WBAL TV 11 editorial is Vice President and General Manager Phil Stoltz.
The rioting and social strife in Los Angeles left 58 dead, more than 1,000 injured, and thousands more suddenly unemployed. In the pain of this disaster, the Central Maryland Ecumenical Council and WBAL TV have joined forces to sponsor the Urban Relief Project. Every major religious denomination in the Central Maryland area will raise money in their individual congregations during the month of June. The campaign will culminate with an ecumenical ingathering on June 28th at the Cathedral of Mary Our Queen. Half the money raised will be sent to Los Angeles to provide immediate assistance, and the other half will be used in Baltimore for projects designed to improve interracial understanding. Contributions can also be sent to the Urban Relief Project, P.O. Box 630255, Baltimore, Maryland 21263.
On the next Maury Povich Show, jailed for murder, released on a technicality, only to kill again.
I think it's time that the authorities took responsibility for all of these murders.
Mothers of victims speak out on how the courts let this man get away with murder. Then, garbage, loud music, and pesky pets.
Your boyfriend has threatened to choke me and choke me real quick if my dog pee on his tires of his truck.
They're feuding neighbors on the next Maury Povich Show.
Join me tomorrow at 4 on TV 11. This is WBAL Radio's Alan Prell. Join me in TV 11 for a trip to remember.
You bet your life.
Enter to win the chance to see Bill Cosby as part of the audience of his new show.
You bet your life.
Right. Winners travel to Philadelphia courtesy of Holiday Tours.
Holiday Travel Service, the difference you'll appreciate is their commitment to safety and outstanding customer service. Listen to the Alan Prell Show for details.
Hey, I get to drive.
Not on your life.
I'm keeping the hat.
Thanks for watching WBAL TV, Channel 11.